Howdy folks, welcome to my very first YouTube video. This video is going to cover modifications that I've made to a very inexpensive Walmart backpack. I've gotten a lot of good information from folks online through YouTube, websites, and message boards, and I thought I'd pass along the information that I've learned about this project to somebody that maybe could get some information or find it useful. My wife and I just moved to Southwest Virginia, and there's wonderful hiking opportunities very close by. So we have a renewed interest in backpacking. A lot of our equipment is older with heavier external frame packs and the such, so we will definitely want to lighten things up. I've gotten a lot of good information from a book by Mike Cleland called Ultralight Backpacking Tips, and I got some tips about modifying existing packs to lighten them up a bit. So I've used that for this project. This is the actual pack, and this is the way it looks off of the store shelf, pretty much. It's from Walmart, and it's an outdoor products pack, the Arrowhead 8.0 model. It's fairly light to begin with. It's only 2 pounds and 2 ounces, and it's very inexpensive. It's only $29.97. And I have a identical pack except for the color that I've modified, so we can take a comparison between the two before I modify this one also, so it's a good way to see the changes that I've made. And empty, the modified pack weighs only 1 pound 4 ounces, so I got about, I would say, 14 ounces off of the bag, which I thought was pretty good. Wait a minute. What's in here? Gomez, I told you couldn't be in the video. Sorry. Gomez is kind of stubborn sometimes. But anyways, I'll kind of go through the front of the pack here. And the first thing that you see is a very large, heavy luggage handle. So that definitely has to go. And there's also some webbing into a daisy chain and some webbing in the back for reinforcement. And I ripped all that out, and I cut it right at the bottom. And I kept about 2 inches of each strap on the top that I sewed together to form a loop. And that loop is handy if you want to hang stuff on the back of your pack. My wife likes to put clothes or wet towels to dry, and so I thought that would be functional and still not weigh all that much. So that's what it looks like with the handle removed. Now, I didn't do much to the side of the packs. There's a compression strap that I wanted to keep to help keep the load close to the body. And one thing I wanted to mention that the side pockets are a little difficult to get into. There's not a lot of extra room to get your hand in there. There's a lot of room in the pocket with the pleating, but it's kind of hard to get into. So you're not going to store a big water bottle sticking out of here like a lot of times you see the traditional 2 water bottles on the side. But you can put water bottle or 2 in the large back pocket there if you wanted to do that. Now on this side of the pack, we don't use hydration, nor do we use sternum straps, so we took both of those off, but that's personal preference. If you like to use those, keep them on. They don't weigh that much. And everything else is pretty much good, except it is a fairly small pack as far as the torso length. It fits my wife great. It's maybe good for ladies that like to wear their hip belt more up on their waist. I like to wear my hip belt a little bit lower on my hip, and so the pack is a little bit small. So what I'm planning on doing on this pack is removing this hip belt here, moving it down 1 inch to the bottom of the padding, maybe trimming the padding and sewing it, and hopefully I can do a nice job and keep it looking well. And on the top with the shoulder pads, where it's nicely reinforced, I'm actually going to sew that further up. I'll just fold the shoulder straps up and put some reinforcing there too and gain at least 1 inch there. So I'm going to gain at least a couple inches, and it's going to fit me very well. I think I'm going to like the fit a lot. But if you're a very large person, this may not be the pack for you. I did get a lot of weight off of the top. There's a top flap with a pocket. The pocket's kind of handy, but unfortunately it comes with a very large weight penalty with it. because it does have some heavy fabric on the top, heavy fabric on the sides. It has a zipper that goes around the entire pocket. It has 2 strap systems with 2 buckles, and also some fabric on the bottom. So I actually removed the entire lid that comes fairly far to the back. And I guess you might want to, if you wanted to, you might be able to leave this bottom flap to cover the top of the pack. But my intent is to use this pack with a foam pad wrapped on the inside, a standard 20-inch foam pad, and also lined with a trash compactor plastic bag to keep everything waterproof. Sometimes packs are difficult to waterproof because of all the seams, and I'm not even going to worry about it. It'll be bone dry with a plastic bag in there. I'm not going to worry about whether I get a little rain in the top or whatnot. I think it'll be great. But this is what it looks like with the lid removed. There's a little bit of excess fabric on the outside, but I don't think it looks too bad. And there is a hanging strap that we will use because we like to hang our packs in the back of the vehicle to get them out of the way, so that's important to us, but not, if it's not to you, you can get rid of that. And also, where this strap comes up, I cut these off, but I kept the fraction of an inch on either side. I used a hot nail, and I melted a hole in each of those pieces, so now I have tie-down points for anything that I might like on the pack. So it doesn't leave much weight, and it gives me a little bit of flexibility if I want to do something there. So that's fairly could be handy. Now I got a lot of weight off of the front, a lot of weight off the top, and I also got a lot of weight off of the inside of the pack. On the inside, there's a hydration sleeve. Like I mentioned, we don't use the hydration sleeve, so I took this pocket for the hydration sleeve, or the fabric, and I trimmed it along with the tag all the way over to the edge and all the way down on the inside of the pack, so I got rid of that. And there's also aluminum stays that are in sleeves that are mounted to yet another independent piece of fabric. So just like the hydration pocket, I was able to trim the whole mess out on the inside, and that took a whole bunch of weight out. Now with the pad on the inside, I'm not going to need the aluminum stays at all, and this is what it looks like on the inside of this pack. In fact, I hope the lighting's okay, but there's a 30-degree down bag in here already, and it shows you there's quite a bit of room left in there for gear. I share my gear with my wife, so we can go very light and not take a lot of stuff. So this is plenty of room for us for a weekend or even longer. So I'll take the sleeping bag out, and I'll take the pad out. And if you want to gain extra room in the bag, you can actually strap this pad on the ice axe loops, which I have left on there. It's not the most stable place to hang it, but it's so lightweight it's not going to be an issue, and it seems to ride well, so that'll give you more room. But this is what the inside looks like after I removed that whole mess. So it's pretty simple. There is a little Velcro loop, I think, for the hydration. I just kept it on there for maybe hanging car keys, but that can go too if you want to. And on the inside, there's actually, in the back fabric, there's actually foam support padding in addition to everything else, which I kept in there, and it does give some nice support to the back of the pack, and padding too. It has the mesh on the wearing side here. So that's what it looks like. And that's about all I did to it. It brought the weight down greatly. I really like the pack. This is what it looks like when it's empty. I do have a brand name pack back here, but I actually prefer this one, and I'm going to use this pack. I really like the straight cut to it, and it's very simple. I like the simplicity of it, and I think it's going to last a good long time. I know it's not the top of the line, and I don't mean to say it's any better than a top-of-the-line pack, because it's not. But for the money, if you're on a budget, $29.97 is a great price, or if you just don't want to spend too much or want an entry-level pack, I think this is worth considering for you. And I also did some shortening of some of the other straps too, like you always do. But so that's about it. Thanks for watching, and happy backpacking.